Well, joining me now is California Congressman Ruiz, a Democratic member of the House Energy and Commerce and Veterans Affairs Committees. He is also chair of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Congressman, it's very good to have you here. Thank you for joining me. Okay, let's take a look at part of the Build Back Better bill. You have led efforts to include protections for immigrants in the package. The Hill says what's included in this is the most extensive immigration reform package reviewed by Congress in 35 years. So share with us some of the details and how it would impact undocumented people here in the country.
Well, thank you for having me, Alex. First of all, the Build Back Better plan is a rocket boost to the economy and will launch American families by putting money in their pockets with middle-class tax breaks and lowering the cost of three of the most expensive elements of a household, which are childcare, healthcare, and housing. And immigration in that will also boost our economy because by providing work permits and protections for about 7 million individuals, essential workers, for 5 years. For those who can apply, the criteria are anybody who have been here for over 10 years by January 1st, 2011, will be able to have a peace of mind and contribute to our economy for 5 years and then reapply for another 5 years for a total of 10 years.
Okay, I want to talk about the Senate parliamentarian. First of all, are you confident that this bill will be approved by the Senate? But when it comes to the parliamentarian, that person can reject other proposals and has done so. A path to citizenship has been rejected. Green cards have been rejected. So what happens? What's your plan if the Senate parliamentarian rejects what has already been approved in the House? Because it could happen.
You know, I think the better word other than confident is hopeful. I am hopeful that the parliamentarian, based on her previous rulings that said that because of the policy impact that was not temporary or finite, or because it was focused into small targeted groups, that this does not have those elements, and so I'm hopeful that she will rule in favor. But in addition to that, there are Senate rules where the chair could also give their ruling or their opinions, and there's a process in which they can continue to move forward with those protections. And we're hopeful to see it cross the finish line because it's going to benefit American families. It's going to increase jobs by over millions of new jobs. It's going to increase to our GDP by about 1.5 trillion over a decade. And that's why this is going to benefit all American families.
Yeah, is this immigration provision, is it a must-have to get your vote for final package? I mean, what happens if the Senate strips it from their final version?
You know, I'm going to keep my language to getting to yes instead of getting to no. And so I'm going to say that we're going to really push to get immigration in there to make sure that we put money in American families' pockets with middle-class tax breaks and lower the cost, because American families right now are struggling at the gas tank, they're struggling at the grocery stores, and this is a bill that's going to boost our economy, that's going to lower the cost, that's really going to help the middle-class families get ahead.
I love your optimistic approach. Let me ask you if it exists with this, the other major provision in the bill, the expanded child tax credit. How much do you think this will impact Hispanic families that are still recovering from the pandemic?
Look, Alex, this bill is going to help Hispanic families the most because Hispanic families have been devastated by the pandemic the most. There's no doubt that Latinos, Latinas, especially Latinas, have bared the brunt of the economic burden of this pandemic. There's more Hispanic children that live in poverty. Hispanic families are struggling to pay for child care, for their elderly care as well. And this bill is going to extend that child tax credit. I'm very confident that it'll remain. It'll lift millions more children out of poverty. It's going to help with child care, which is going to enable Latinos, Latina parents to go back to work. And it's also going to help lower the cost of health care for those that fall within the Medicaid gap, and going to, for the first time, provide hearing aids for elderly relatives. And that's going to be pivotal for the American family.
Yeah. So I hear all that you're saying, but what do you think is key to taking this legislative victory and selling it to Hispanic voters in a very broad way? How do Democrats help turn this into a win next year in the midterms, especially when Republicans, as you know, are expanding support within the Latino community? Is Build Back Better Is that going to bring Hispanics back to the Democratic Party?
You know, it's going to be a big step towards that, including the already accomplished historical infrastructure law that we just passed that's going to fix our roads, build our railways, that's going to bring broadband, fix our bridges, provide clean water and clean energy, and also deal with our climate. You know, so these are accomplishable wins that people feel in their pocket. People talk about these things. So when parents are having dinner and they're worried about needing to go back to work, but they can't afford childcare, when they know that kids do better in school and in life, when they're able to go to preschool, and this bill is able to provide, expand preschool for 3 and 4 years old, when their elderly patient or grandparent is starting to have hearing problems, which can expedite their Alzheimer's and dementia if they don't take care of it. Now they're able to provide hearing aids. These are real, tangible, life-improving elements from the Build Back Better Act that is going to boost our economy. It's going to help bring relief for the costs that are going up. And this is why I think the Senate has an enormous opportunity to understand that and get this done for the American families.
Okay, well, keep on keeping on, and happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Californian, Congressman Raul Ruiz. Thank you so much.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.